the band play.
100K on the protect, living life with no regrets. These out when I get dressed. Summertime, I'm with a fresh. Put a leg behind her head. Night, she gonna bed. Bye-bye. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these chicks. Living life with no regrets. Living life with no regrets.
Sled Talk listeners, welcome back to the next episode of Sled Talk. It seems like every single episode gets better and better and uniquer and more special. This one's super cool because if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see that we have an entirely different setup outside of the office for the first episode. And with me today, super special guest, Mr. Justin Ponsor, founder and owner of Sled USA. Justin, welcome onto the show, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for driving all the way out here.
Oh shit, I wouldn't miss it. I'm super excited. Originally the plan was to ride all day with you and then do a podcast tonight, and I think I rode with you for the first 10 minutes this morning, and then I didn't see you until 4 o'clock.
Yeah, we just dipped off into a creek and lost about 3/4 of the group. We did a lot of trail riding together, though.
Yeah, the good stuff. But yeah, so we are up here outside of Sandpoint, Idaho, and I've never ridden up here before. Neither of you?
Nope.
Nope, first time?
McCall is the closest I think I've been up to here. So
there you go. I haven't even been to McCall. Well, cool. Yeah, so Justin, let's get right into it. Let's do a little introduction to, who you are, where you're from, your age, what you do for work, any of that good stuff that you want to share.
All right, so Justin Ponsor, I was born and raised in Storm Lake, Iowa. Still live in Iowa. About an hour away from where I grew up. 27 years old, and like you said, founder and owner of Sled USA. And for work, my day job is IT job. It's called Forensic Data Security. So we do work for like Spotify, Dropbox, Uber, and stuff like that in data centers. So that's kind of cool. I get to travel and stuff, but definitely my passion's wrapped around snowmobiling.
For sure.
So when I was I was going to college for advertising and business management. Mm-hmm. And my last year there over Christmas break, I knew I wanted to start my own business, but I didn't know what. Like landscaping crossed my mind a lot, but then I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily want to, build a clientele in Iowa because I don't know if I want to stay there the whole time.
Sure, got it.
And then, through school and just for fun, got the hang of social media, and, that was all kind of fun. Mm-hmm. Content creation and stuff was, pretty fun to do. So, sure. Over that break, I started an Instagram page because there was all the truck pages, just posting pictures of cool trucks and stuff like that. And I'm like, there's really not a big sled or snowmobile one, So that's what it started as, is just like starting an Instagram page, posting people's sleds, cool clips, whatever.
Sure. What year was this?
2016.
Okay. So you've been at it for a minute.
Yeah, like Christmas break. So, and then, so as it grew, people started sending me their pictures, hey, can you post this? Yeah, absolutely. Posting all the pictures. And then somebody asked me if we have decals. I'm like, no, but that'd be kind of cool if we had decals,
Heck yeah.
So went to the local decal shop and got like 100 printed.
Okay.
And sold those just to mostly like buddies, or if somebody, on Instagram requested one and stuff. And then I started to get asked about T-shirts from a different person. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, let's make some T-shirts, maybe some hats. That'd be
Heck
cool.
Yeah.
So then I actually made it a business in May of 2017. So
got it.
About 4 or 5 months after.
Mm-hmm.
And then that year there was an opening that came open for Heydays. So we got a booth there, and we had like one style of T-shirt. It's just plain white with the Sled USA logo.
Hey,
one style of sweatshirt.
Gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And then some stocking caps, some baseball caps, and some stickers. And that was it. Out in the boonies, little easy up tent.
Oh, yeah.
And then just kind of, I had fun with it and kept growing the merch line. And I'm just like, well, let's just see how far I can take this thing. Sure. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Heck yeah.
We sell, it's mostly apparel, but we're also a dealer for Duradeck, Arctic Effects, little odds and ends like tethers, kill switches, and stuff like that. So just kind of getting into everything. But where I want to take it in the future is wherever I figure out where I want to land, like for the long term.
Right.
I'd like to build like some cabins and like a lodge and kind of have a destination for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of have it in my head of how I would, the best lodge that I think could be.
For sure.
So then I'd probably just put up some cabins and a main lodge with like some pool tables and bar or whatever, and I think that'd be pretty cool. So that's the end goal.
Heck yeah. Well, that's awesome. I guess that could just be the wrap of the podcast. I didn't have to ask any questions. You just told us the entire story. That's awesome. No, that's a super cool story. I'm glad that you went into it. Quick question about the merch. Are you doing all that production yourself, or do you do like the print on demand model, or?
So we started drop shipping back, 2017. I think we quit in 2018, just because it was a long turnaround time. Not so much profits, they obviously take their fair share.
Sure.
And then there were a couple misprints that I got from customers. Like the one of the logos was like the ink faded out halfway through, and I'm like, okay, we can't have this. So, so then I started getting everything in house, and everything's in inventory.
There you go. That's smart.
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I like the print on demand model because then you have the demand first, right? So like, you don't go buy 500 t-shirts and then they're just in boxes in your garage and hope that somebody wants to buy one.
Yeah.
Whereas the print on demand, they buy one first and then the manufacturer makes it and then ships it out. For any of you that don't know what print on demand means. And same kind of thing. I have a buddy that owns a print on demand company, and I had no like control over the quality of the stuff. Right. And I just I don't like that. And so I pulled it off the print on demand model, and I'm switching over to doing it all myself.
Oh, nice.
And I think it's cool that way too, because then just getting started and growing out with it, like you can put stickers in there, you can do handwritten letters or whatever it is, right? And just have more of a hands-on with it. Sure, there's a little bit more work on the front end, shipping and all that kind of stuff, but I mean, I think it's worth it when you're building a quality company. Sure. You know what I mean? So that's super sick. So I guess what happens from now until the lodge and the cabins? Like, how do you scale the company to get to that point? Like, do you have any plans as far as a plan of attack on how to get to that point, or just keep doing what you're doing? And
well, the first move really is moving out to where I want to be. I've been scoping out land and stuff like that, but
they snowmobile in Iowa? Is that a thing?
Yeah. A lot of ditch banging.
Got it.
That's how I grew up, as ditch banging. Yeah. Iowa, and then there's not really any trail systems. Sometimes they groom the ditches, sometimes not. You just got to watch out for the culverts.
Nice.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Well, cool. So, all right, yeah, I'm sure we'll circle back to the company stuff and go into that a little bit more, but let's kick it back to the first time that you were ever on a sled. How old were you?
I was 6.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
My dad showed up with a 1972 Skidoo Elon.
Oh my!
We called it Bart because it was just this little yellow thing.
Got it.
But I hopped on that thing, and I still have a picture of me on it. And this last Christmas, my parents got it for me for Christmas as my Christmas gift.
Oh, that's cool.
Christmas gift ever.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So I still have it. It runs. It doesn't drive. I need a couple parts in the track, but
sure.
Sometime I'd like to get it to drive. But I really just wanted it for like a display piece sometime.
100%. That's cool.
So
right on. So talk a little bit about the evolutions of the sleds that you've had since then.
Yeah. So on that sled, I was basically just riding around the yard. That was the only sled we had in the family. So me and my dad would ride together. I'd just sit in front of him. Yeah, and we'd go bang the ditches or go across the lake and stuff. One time over open water with like paddles like this thick. It was a little sketchy, but we made it. And then I had a John Deere liquefier after that, and then a Polaris 340 that I totaled because the throttle stuck open, and me being a little kid, I didn't think to shut the kill switch off or any of that. So
got it.
In the neighbor's yard, there was like a stump and then a tree, and the sled ramped the stump and smoked the tree. So I was pretty heartbroken about that, losing my $300 sled. And then after that, we both got our own sleds, and we started on Arctic Cat. So my first sled that was mine, not a shared sled, was a ZL600. It was like a 98 or 99.
Got it.
And then my dad got a triple, pretty much the same thing, but his was a triple. So then we just started hitting the ditches together and doing poker runs, and we'd ride to Truesdale. It's the town like 10 minutes north, and we'd go get a burger there. And, just little stuff like that. And then a lot of our family friends and family too got sleds and kind of had a group. And then when I was 13, we started going out west. My cousin Chad, who has now passed away, but he was kind of the guy who kind of hosted the trips and planned everything and made sure everybody had fun and stuff. And,
sure.
So once I went out there, I just totally got hooked on mountain riding, and you know, I was horrible. I think the sled that I went out there first on was like a 03 F7, like Firecat short track, and I was just stuck every 10 minutes, but I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then started to get mountain sleds and kind of progressed from there. And then once the Axis came out, that's I rode Austin Brewer's sled. He had he's sitting back there. He had a turboed Axis, and he let me ride it. And I took like one loop up the hill and down, and I was just like, this thing is fun.
Oh, yeah.
I need to get one. So I got one, and then I've been on Polaris ever since.
Oh, yeah. All turbos, too, ever since then?
All turboed Polaris. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Which one so far is your favorite that you've had?
Definitely the Matrix.
The one that you're currently on right now?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's dive right into that. Talk me through the setup that you have on it, what all you've done to it.
2022 Matrix 155 Chaos Boost. It's a mouthful, and that's not even all the words.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
And got a Voke tune on the turbo, so it runs a little harder than stock. And then haven't really done a whole lot to it. I mean, with the tunnel, I was going to do a tunnel chop if they didn't come out with anything, but that's taken care of. And just like little stuff like DuraPro rubbers on the skis and the wrap, of course. Yeah. And then aftermarket A-arms, I did a 34-inch stance. Liking that so far. So, yeah. I might add a few more things once the season goes on. But
oh, yeah? What do you have in mind? Or do you know yet?
I don't know yet. I'm waiting on bumpers. Bumpers are the next thing.
Yeah. Well, I think everyone's waiting on something.
Yeah.
It seems like even their entire sled, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I have buddies that are still waiting on theirs.
Same.
It's sad.
Yeah.
And what's her name? Or his name?
Oh, Lieutenant Dan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's like military themed, like Army Green, Desert Tan, and so I was like thinking Sarge or the General or Patriot, because like Patriot Boost.
Yeah.
And I was doing a TikTok live when I was rapping it.
I tuned in for it for a minute, yeah.
Yeah, so one of the guys in there commented Lieutenant Dan, and I just burst out laughing, and I was like, that's the one.
Hell yeah.
So whoever that guy is, if he's out there, that's because that's how I've named the sled.
Heck yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Well, it's sure a good looking sled, that's for damn sure.
Thanks.
So you dropped a couple of company names, so let's kind of get into your roster of sponsors that you currently have right now.
So Climb, Caliber, Durdeck, Arctic Effects. There's quite a few, but those are kind of the ones I would work closest with.
Sure.
Barcode Performance is the new A-arms. That's a new sponsor for this year.
Nice.
So yeah, Muff Stuffers. Got to keep.
Yeah.
Got to have the meals on the mountains. You know.
Yeah. What was your first sponsor?
That's a good question. I don't know if I can remember.
That's all right. Well, cool. Do you have your sights set on any other up and coming companies or companies that are currently out there that you really like their products that you want to bring on as a sponsor? Or?
I like Ice Age rails.
Okay.
I've ridden those on a couple sleds, but I've been lucky with not really bending any rails, so it's been good. But when I had them, it was definitely like nice to know that they were a little bit stronger.
For sure. 100%. So,
yeah.
Nice. They're a good company. They're all made in Montana too.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, his name is Nick. I believe his last name is Donovan, I think. He used to work for Ice Age there in Bozeman, and he cut the tunnel off on my sled. I took it over to him this summer over in Bozeman because out of everything that I did to my sled, I did myself except for the tunnel cut, just because the welding and the coolant and all that.
I wouldn't trust myself to do that either.
It was a little bit above my pay grade, so I was like, nah, I'm going to take it over to him, and he did it for me. But, I've thought about, I've got the Next Tech Carbon on mine right now, and I've thought about maybe potentially doing some Ice Age in the future, just because I really like the company themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they make quality stuff for sure. So, all right, cool. So let's kind of go into, I think it's super unique. You're probably, well, I guess we just did one with a guy from Alaska, but you're definitely quite a ways away from me, and we're here in Sandpoint, Idaho. So let's kind of get into all of the places. I've been following you for quite a while, and you travel quite a bit. So let's get into some of the places that you have ridden before.
Okay, well, I would say Colorado is kind of my main area, like Rabbit Ears, Steamboat. My dealer's Alpine Motorsports in Kremling, Voke, so it's nice to kind of ride where that's at, So that's kind of the home base, I guess.
What Would that be your favorite place then, or?
Yeah, I would say so. I would say, yeah, just because I'm most familiar with it, and if the snow's good, you know, obviously if the snow's good somewhere else, then it's a different story.
Yeah.
But and then like the Centennial area, that's where I kind of grew up riding, and I haven't really ridden there much lately in the last like 5 or 6 years. Maybe like once a year I'll stop there. And Togety, Alpine, just kind of everywhere. But like in the last couple of years, I've been going to Idaho more, and I really like it over here.
Mm-hmm.
The terrain's really fun.
Heck yeah.
And then I guess some of the further places, Lake Tahoe, California. Saw palm trees that day and cruising by the beach. And then the next in a few hours, I was snowmobiling. That was pretty cool. And then Sweden.
Okay.
I was able to get over there. And I still haven't ridden in Canada.
Okay.
So it's kind of weird that I've been to Sweden, but not Canada.
Right.
But maybe next year.
So go into that a little bit. How did the Sweden thing come about?
So
how did that all come to place?
With my IT job, I was doing a job in Stockholm.
Mm-hmm.
We went in 2018, I think it was. I went over to London like 8 times and then Sweden twice. And one of the times I was in Sweden, it was in Stockholm. And I'm like, man, I actually have an ambassador from Sweden.
Oh, really?
That I was like in contact with for years.
Yeah.
And I was asking like how far his riding areas were from Stockholm.
Right.
Well, opposite side of the country. Stockholm's southern Sweden, and then where he rides is like on the east side or the north side. So I looked at plane tickets, and it was like a $99 plane ticket to go to the top of the country. Yeah. Yeah. So flew 100%. In, took a train, and then met him, and then he had the rental sled all ready to go, and we went and rode, and it was super cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it just kind of goes to, so that ambassador is that, I'm assuming, through social media, right? So that's just cool to show the importance of social media platforms and being able to connect and network with people. I mean, that's the reason why I'm here right now with you, right? So that's pretty cool to have, people essentially all over the world that you could set something up like that. I mean, that's pretty sick. I've been to Copenhagen, Denmark a couple of times, and we drove over to Malmo, Sweden. And I would absolutely love to ride over there. Mm-hmm. That'd be gnarly. And Russia too. I think that'd be sick. Yeah, me too. After I did that and like saw how the culture's different, and like they set the house up, like the Airbnb or I don't know if it's Airbnb over there, but whatever it was, the rental house. And then they like prepared like some Swedish meals for me, and I actually have some Swedish in my heritage. Okay, so that was kind of cool, Yep. And then we they had their little camp stove that we made lunch with, and it was pretty cool just to try new food and see like how they do stuff over there. 100%. A lot of the trailers are being towed with like cars, Audis, and so Kevin, my ambassador that I was there with, he has a Dodge Ram 1500, and he was which is a big deal over there to have something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So he had to get it like fully imported and everything, and
costs a lot of money.
Yeah,
it's all good. I don't know what that was. Keep rolling.
And anyway, so he said he had to get it like imported, and then he had to get special licenses to drive that truck, because apparently that's like a big deal to drive a truck like a 1500 gasser out there.
Oh yeah.
And he said like for a truck like I have, like a 2500 or a diesel truck or lifted truck or whatever, it's like getting your CDL times 2. Like it's a huge deal to get your license for that.
Yeah, and you practically have to be a millionaire too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just the vehicle alone, but then the fuel over there is insane.
Yeah, but it's cool to see all these little cars towing around, and they do just fine.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, even on a side note, I mean, I come from a super small town. I think it's cool for people to get outside of their town or even their state and get exposed to other cultures, other people, and just see how people do things differently in different parts of the world. It's pretty cool.
And after that trip, I like you said, you wanted to ride in Russia.
Yep.
I figured out that there was snowmobiling in Italy.
Really?
And I'm a little bit Italian too. Oh. So I'm like, I got to ride there.
Heck yeah.
So there, and I'd like to make it to Japan.
Oh,
that looks pretty fun.
Gnarly.
Yeah. Rob and Dave went there a couple years ago, and I was kind of following along with that. And it looked pretty fun.
Yeah. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
And so you haven't been to Canada?
No.
And I don't know, without getting too political, hopefully we can go over there soon.
Yeah. Yeah. With the borders and stuff, I was like, I'll just wait till it all fizzles out.
Yeah, screw it. Well, now Canada's in a really bad place currently, so who knows what's going to happen. Well, cool. Yeah. So, let me open it up to Jeff. Do you have anything that you wanted to ask? I typically always do this once or twice during the episode because he can watch it from a different point of view. So sometimes he's got good questions, sometimes not so much. But no. Yeah. It's all good. I guess I will ask you: have you ever done any riding clinics like Brant's or Dan Adams or any of those guys? Have you ever done anything like that?
No, nothing like that. I'll be with Matt Entz here in a couple of weeks to do my Avi 1 certification.
Okay.
So I guess that would be like the closest thing to a clinic. I've just done like, when we first started coming out to the mountains, we hired guides and just guided trips pretty much.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to make it out there though.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Jeff and I have talked about trying to make a trip over there. I don't know if we would do like Kosturkey or Dan Adams. I mean, for us, you travel all over the place, but for Brant's, that's like, 15 hours for us. And I know people drove more than that to get to here right now.
Our drive here,
they're laughing at me, but
it was like 19 and a half.
Oh my God. That's just brutal. Yeah. But whatever it takes to chase the snow, right?
Yep.
So that's cool that so is that like an Airy level 1?
Yeah.
Avalanche. So are you just doing the level 1? Is it like a 2-day motorized? Are you doing like an avalanche rescue?
3-day motorized.
Oh, it's 3 days for level 1. That's interesting. I just, 3 weeks ago, I did day 1 was avalanche rescue. And then day 2 and 3 was the Airy level 1 motorized stuff. And, prior to that, I hadn't done anything in that realm. And it's pretty eye-opening. Because there's just a lot of stuff that you don't really think about. And that stuff's super important because, I've talked about this on previous episodes when I went, a buddy of mine, Jordan Bennett, he went with me. And then right afterwards we did a podcast talking about it. And it's super interesting how much stuff goes into that we don't really think about. Right. And a big topic of that episode was the reality of these sleds and, factory turbos. Like, these sleds can, in a blink of an eye, get you into those zones real quick.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that you're doing that. Like, it's super eye-opening for me. Because there was one particular situation where we pulled up into an area and it was a big bowl, and I was there the previous season, and there was just this huge cornice, and, you're out riding with your buddies and stuff, and fresh snow, and you just pull up on something and everybody, blinks and then is gone. Right. And boys just dropped off that cornice. And then this time during the avalanche, we pulled up to it. We stopped. We talked about it. Is this in the danger zone? And it's really interesting to, lay the groundwork and get awareness around those kind of things because, I don't know, it's kind of inevitable to be in situations like that. I think as sleds progress, as we progress as riders, like,
the more we ride, the more we're exposed.
100%. So no, that's super cool. I think everybody should attend a class. So that's cool that you're doing that. Really cool. Yeah, awesome. Was there something else that you wanted to jam on specific?
I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah. Okay. Jeff, you don't have anything? You typically always do. I rely on you sometimes. Huh? Bush Light? Yeah, do you have somebody, crazy story, somebody blowing up a sled 40 miles from the truck or
a couple weekends ago, Jacob ripped his track in half. That was a fun, I don't know if
the same Jacob that sent his sled into a tree today?
He's hiding in the corner.
So what happened there?
So we stitched it up with paracord, and that pretty much worked until maybe a quarter mile from the truck. Gotcha. And then just kind of limped it back.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And the skid was all icy, so when we were changing out the track, we put the skid in the shower to get all the ice off.
I think I saw that on your story. I'm pretty sure I saw that.
I was just laughing.
That's super funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
Definitely the muff stuffers. I'll just like be cooking those, and my favorite one's the chimichurri beef tips. So, and now they make a dessert one that's like a brownie with a cookie on top. So after you eat the chimichurri beef dips, you put that in there, and then you have a warm cookie by the end of the day.
That's crazy. Yeah, they followed me the other day. I thought about reaching out to them and saying something to them. That'd be cool.
That and beef jerky, lots of water.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, how many current ambassadors do you guys have?
Around 50.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so what was the idea behind like doing that?
Just basically like any other company, you know, get sponsored riders to help promote the brand and then help them out with discounts and merch and stuff like that. Kind of help grow the brand.
Oh, yeah.
And then you meet cool people doing it too.
Yeah. Do you have any upcoming products that you haven't released yet that you can talk about, or?
This year, I mean, we got the snow gauges out now.
Yep, I saw those.
Yeah,
those are sick.
And I've been doing some flags. Like the Saturdays are for snowmobiling.
Yeah.
Got those flags and a couple of Sled USA flags, regular ones. Hit it big with the trapper hats. Got a full line of trapper hats now, as requested.
I see your boys wearing
There's
some
a couple
of them.
guys wearing them.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year's probably just more merch, more for heydays. And then
Yeah.
I'm trying to go to the New Hampshire show too. It's in Epping. So that's like a 23-hour drive from Iowa. So 509 goes from Washington, and they said it's worth it. And then a couple other guys that I talked to that own businesses and have booths out there said that they would never miss that show.
Yeah, wow.
And some of them are further than I am, so I'm like, and it's an outdoor show, and I like outdoor shows because you got room and stuff. And
Sure.
So I'm gonna try to make that happen.
Gotcha.
I'm on the waiting list.
Oh yeah, there you go. That'll be sick. Something I do want to ask you, and if you don't want to answer this, that's totally fine. This is a little bit on the personal side, but I know you have a girlfriend, right? And so talk to me a little bit about the relationship as far as like how that works with you going snowmobiling for a week with the boys and traveling all over the place all winter.
She's pretty good about that.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. She knows that, you know, I'm out here getting content and hanging with the buddies and, you know, doing stuff that I love to do. And so she's pretty cool with me leaving all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you make a really good point because sure, you're out here having fun, but you're also technically working. Yeah. Right. And so off of, and again, we can jam on this or not, outside of like, you know, Sled USA as a company, are you guys have your own YouTube channel?
Yeah. So Sled USA has a YouTube channel. Every so often we'll put a video on there, but it's not like consistent.
Sure.
And
you have a personal one too.
Yeah. And then my personal YouTube channel, I've been trying to, you know, kind of make that more consistent of just documenting the trips and stuff like that.
Sure.
Seems like when I post videos like that, get a lot of positive comments. So, and they like watching that. So I'm all right, well, you know, if we document it, and then we can watch it for our sake too. You know?
Yeah.
Relive
100%.
the memories. So
do you have those platforms, especially like YouTube, in monetization status? Are you making some ad spend from YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube and TikTok.
TikTok, you're in the creator fund there?
Yep.
How about Reels?
Not on Reels yet.
Not yet?
Nope.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know if we'll put this part in there, but Jeff and I sat down one time, and I'm sure you're familiar with Muskoka Free Rider.
Yep.
And so we did some real conservative quick math on subscribers and then pay-per-view and all that kind of stuff, and just looked at his videos and the amount of views and stuff, and kind of conservatively came up with an estimate of monthly income from just YouTube alone. Mm-hmm. Have you ever put that together, thought about that?
I've done it for like big YouTubers, and I'm like, man, I got to grow my YouTube.
Yeah, I think roughly he's probably pulling about a month.
Nice.
Which is
pretty decent though. Like,
oh my God,
man,
every single day.
Yeah, every single day. Not only rides, but then has the energy to dump all the footage, edit, make the YouTube thumbnail, like everything. And you know, I know what goes all into everything like that. And so I reached out to him not too long ago, and I was like, dude, I just want to say, like, you are killing it. It's so impressive.
100%.
I don't know how you do that. And he's like, it's a 24/7 thing. And you know, sometimes he'll be up till 3 a.m. and then go ride the next day. And I'm just like, dude, that is a grind, but so impressive. Like, I'm trying to do like a video a week, and then he's putting out one every day. I'm like, look out.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Well, I mean, even for Jeff and I, when we made the commitment to release an episode every single Friday, We're like, oh yeah, cool, let's do that. And then real quick, it was like, oh
Yeah.
this is a job.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's a ton of fun. And, you know, like I said, if we hadn't have started it, I wouldn't be sitting here right now with you. So it's pretty cool to see other people doing that. And it seems like, I think here before too long, we're going to see everybody's sled strapped up with a Pelican case and a camera.
Yeah.
It's so funny how many people are getting into that now, which I think it's cool and bringing more awareness to the sport. So yeah, it's a good thing for sure.
Even if I wasn't on, you know, social media and had like responsibilities to fulfill with sponsors,
Sure.
I still think it'd be fun to lug around a nice camera just to get cool pictures of your buddies and, you know, just for personal use.
100%. Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, I think let's wrap this episode up. Justin, I appreciate you tuning in, jumping on the show. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Let's jam on the Sled Talk question of the day. You got something that you want to ask the listeners and the viewers?
Yeah, so we thought about this the whole 19-hour drive. I'm like, what could the question of the day be? And the guys helped me.
Because you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh?
So we came up with, what was your first sled? Because I feel like everybody gets excited about their first sled, how they grew up, you know, how they started riding.
Yep.
So what was your first sled?
Yeah. For you guys watching and especially watching, TikTok, Reels, or YouTube, whatever it may be, leave your comments below with your answers. We definitely read through them and appreciate your guys' feedback. So yeah, we'll wrap this episode up. Again, Justin, thank you for coming on. I appreciate you a ton. It was great to meet you this weekend.
Yeah, you too.
Or today, I guess, even though we didn't ride together.
Feels like a weekend.
Yeah, oh, man.
It's been a long day for you.
Yeah, it has. All right, well, cool. Yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll catch you guys on the next episode. If you are watching this on YouTube, please consider hitting the subscribe button and smashing the like button and then following along on all the other platforms. Justin, we will link all of your personal pages as well as Sled USA in the link below. So definitely tap into that and follow Justin and Sled USA. And yeah, that's a wrap. We'll talk to you guys on the next one.
With no regrets. I can't designer when I get dressed. Summertime on winter fresh. I put her legs behind her head. Night she gone to bed. Bye bye. Every day it's a new test. I just keep chasing these chicks.